Welcome to the TCA's history lesson for Year 7. This video is going to focus on catch-up work that you need to complete, as well as introducing the Medieval Research Project. Over the past few weeks, you have been completing work via narrated PowerPoints, which can be found on YouTube. The first thing you need to do is go through your book and check to see which topics you haven't completed, or perhaps need to add more work to. In a moment, I'm going to talk you through which topics you should have done with your teacher. These topics will vary depending on which class you are part of, so please check your Satchel 1 to see what lessons you should have completed. Here are the list of lessons that we cover in our medieval topic. We look at the Battle of Hastings and see who won and became the next King of England. We then look at William's problems and how he dealt with these problems as king. There is an introduction lesson to the murder of Thomas Becket. The follow-up lesson is a documentary which looks at the murder of Thomas Becket in more detail. Then, to finish off the Becket lessons, there was a piece of extended writing which you needed to have completed and sent to your teacher. Finally, there was the Black Death and the impact of the Black Death. These are just some of the lessons that you should have completed. Look on your Satchel 1 information page to see which lessons you as your class have completed. Then look in your books to see if you have completed all the work for those lessons. As I mentioned, in your Satchel 1 event, you will find all the information from your teacher, which will show you what point your class is up to. How to find your catch-up work. In order to complete this catch-up work, you will need to go through the narrated PowerPoints that we had been using in lesson. Finish watching them and complete the tasks as is stated in the videos. In your Satchel 1 event page, you will find a link which will take you to a playlist. The link for this playlist can also be found in the information section of this video as well. This link will take you to a YouTube playlist where you can find all the narrated lessons that you had been completing as part of your online learning. You then need to click on the videos that you need to watch and catch up on, and then follow the instructions in the video. I'm now going to show you what the YouTube playlist looks like so you know where to find your lessons. Here is the YouTube playlist. What you need to do is scroll through and see which videos you have completed and which ones you perhaps need to catch up on. For example, say that I was doing the Williams Solutions lesson and I realised that I hadn't completed all the tasks. I would click on this video and complete everything that I needed to. All the videos are in the order that you were taught them. So you need to make sure that you are following the order that you have done in lesson. Once you have completed your catch-up work, or perhaps you have already completed your work and do not need to catch up on anything, you are going to create a research project. The focus of this project is going to be medieval Britain, so you can look at anything as long as it covers from the year 1066 up until about the 1300s. This is the medieval period. To help you kind of narrow this down and decide what you would like to look at, I'm going to show you just some topics that you might want to research. Medieval Britain covers a wide range of topics. You could look at castles maybe. Think back to when William of Normandy was King of England, and we talked about the fact that for one of his solutions to his many problems, he created castles. Nottingham Castle, for example, is a castle that was built during William of Normandy's reign. You might want to look into why castles were built, how they were built, and which particular castles in our local area were built during the medieval period. You might want to take a look at King John, a king who is very famous for his troubles whilst on the throne. You could also look at the Magna Carta. This is a document that set out our government and how our country still rules itself today. Robin Hood also took place during the medieval era. You could look at this famous legend and see where it came from, why the story is so important to people, and maybe whether there's any truth to it. You could also look at the Domesday Book. We covered this a little bit in lesson, but you could perhaps expand on this knowledge a little bit further. The Crusades, which are a religious war that happened throughout the medieval period, is another topic that you could look at. In fact, there are 3 crusades: the First Crusade, the Second Crusade, and the Third Crusade. Perhaps you might want to pick one of those to look at. You could also look at the Battle of Bosworth, one of the last battles where a king died for the throne. In fact, King Richard III, who died during this battle, was recently found in a car park in Leicester. Whatever you choose your project to be, it has to be really detailed and full of information about the topic that you are looking at. Your project can take whatever form you like. It could be a PowerPoint, a video, a poster. Perhaps you might want to look into medieval food and you might want to bake a piece of medieval bread. You might want to make a dress from a medieval time period. It is completely up to you what you decide to make. Once you have completed your research project, we would love to see them. So please send a picture to your teacher so that they can have a look and show your work off at home. Make sure though that you have done your catch-up work before you do your research project. Have fun with this research project and I can't wait to see what you come up with.